Hey everyone, it is ZLR, and today we're going to be doing our week 2 recap. I am recording this actually a day before, so you guys will be seeing this actually tomorrow, which is going to be today when you guys see this. But yeah, we had a pretty decent week of football here. I do have a video separate for the Patriots and Dolphins game, so I'll have the annotation or whatever the hell it is right up here or over here, depending on where YouTube really wants to put it. But anyway, let's get right into these games. First, we're going to start off with the Packers and the Commanders game from Thursday. This one was a pretty good game to watch. Obviously, few injuries with Jaden Reed and Austin Eckler. Um, Also, Jaden Daniels today on Monday when I'm recording this, he is questionable for this Sunday against I believe it's the Raiders if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's not really all that great for the Commanders. But oh boy, for Packers fans, starting 2 and 0 this season and the defense looks fucking amazing. You guys must be really happy about this. Micah Parsons still limited on his snaps, but still did very decent in this game. Um Tucker Kraft had over 100 yards and a touchdown. We also had Zach Ertz get pretty pretty decent amount of yardage. I think it was a little over 80 yards if I'm not mistaken. But he did pretty good. I had Zach Ertz on my fantasy team. So that's how I know he did pretty good this week. Um but I do hope all the guys that were injured do get better as soon as possible because two of those injuries were season ending, one of them possibly career ending with Austin Eckler, and we're definitely going to have to see about that. But definitely a very good game from the Packers here. And now we go on to week 3, and we'll have to see how the Packers do then. Then we have the first overtime game of the regular season, as we had the Cowboys go up against the Giants, and the Cowboys won that one 40-37. Pretty good game here. Two 100-yard wide receivers for friggin' the Giants. Well, I should say two 100-plus-yard wide receivers. Russell Wilson had 450 yards passing. That's just fucking insane. I didn't think I would see that from him in this day and age, but we did. And the Cowboys, they look pretty good too. Uh, they they were able to just slightly beat out the Giants in overtime. I think it. I'm not too sure how long into overtime it was, but I'll check again just to make sure. This one, though, definitely gonna be a game of the year competitor, as well as the one we had last week with the Bills and Ravens game. But holy shit. Um, there was I think the two wide receivers for the Giants that had over 100 yards were Wandale Robinson and Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors I have on my fantasy. He got me over 30 plus points. I'm happy about that one. Seattle and the Pittsburgh Steelers is next. This game this game got weird. There was uh there was a guy that decided just not to grab the ball after it touched him. He just walked off the field. and the Seahawks were able to get a free touchdown pretty much, and that pretty much ruined the game for the Steelers. And I just don't understand what the hell was going on in that guy's head at that moment, but I definitely feel bad for him because he's definitely going to be gone soon. Um, but the Seahawks though, they look pretty good this game. Um, Obviously they did get the free touchdown, but they still look pretty good other than that. And honestly, this was probably one of my two losses I had this week so far. Um, the two games for Monday is still going on right now, but as of right now, this was one of the two games that I lost this week on my predictions. And honestly, I thought it was going to go a completely different way, but definitely happy to see that the Seahawks were able to get the win there. Rams versus Titans was next, and this exactly was what I thought it was going to be. With the Rams win it 33-19. It looked like the Titans got a little better than how they were last week, and the Rams, they looked really good. Um, Devontae Adams had just slightly over 100 yards. Uh, Matthew Stafford almost got 300 yards passing. Um, he just looked really good in this game. Devontae Adams, he also looked pretty good in this game. Um, Tony Pollard, he had 92 yards on the ground, which also I think is pretty decent. Um, I just hope the Titans can finally get a win, hopefully next week. If they can't get a win next week, then I would probably start worrying about that team. And for the Rams right now, you guys are looking pretty good, and I'm not complaining. You guys got me another win on my predictions this week, and I also think someone on my fantasy team had like over 20 points, and that was just really good. But this game in general, very fun watch. Bills versus Jets. Oh boy. The Bills won 30-10. This one was another game that I definitely expected the Bills to win. Um just no chance for the Jets to really do anything. The Bills, they looked friggin' amazing yet again. Um they're gonna be one of the best teams in the AFC. There's just no question about that. They beat the Ravens last week, and then they do it again with the Jets, even though the Jets are a worse team. But they they had a really good game, and ooh, it was a fun watch, at least for Bills fans. For Jets fans, not really. And I know Justin Fields is on concussion protocol now, from what I heard, and that's not great. I hope he gets better as soon as possible. And the Bills, I'm honestly very scared to face them when we do October 5th because I'm a New England Patriots fan. And that actually brings us to our next game, the Patriots and the Dolphins. I already have this video up. I uh, I actually made a little mistake while I was recording and said something about the Patriots and Dolphins game, after I already mentioned that I made the video about it. And yeah, sorry about that one. Jags and Bengals were next. This one was a pretty close game, and Joe Burrow, oh boy, turf toe, gonna be out for 3 months, and that's gonna have to get some surgery. Not looking too good for the Bengals at the moment. I know they're gonna be looking for a free agent quarterback, and there's not many left available at the moment. But they they squeaked out that win with Jake Browning, and it was pretty good too. The game was close pretty much the whole time from what I saw, and they they just did not want to give up. The Jaguars, they just did not want to give up. But at the end, the Bengals won. Ja'Marr Chase, he was another wide receiver that got me over 30 points in my fantasy league. Um, yeah, one of my fantasy leagues, I have slightly over 200 points. It absolutely brutal for the other guy. Um, but definitely nice to see that Ja'Marr Chase had a spectacular game, and I also do hope Shamar Stewart gets better too, because I know he got hurt recently as well. So I am just sending out my thoughts to him, and I just hope he gets better as soon as possible. The 49ers and the Saints was next, and oh boy, Mac Jones actually got them the win. And he actually looked really good in this game too, which surprised me quite a lot. Um, I definitely wasn't expecting a game like this from him, but definitely glad that he had it. Um, After not playing so good recently, at least he's found a little bit of a footing, and I hope he plays like that next week if he's still in. Most likely will be. But anyway, the Saints, they looked a little bit better than how they did last week as well. I have to give them credit for that. Um, there was just pretty close game, and there was just pretty close game. Wow, I am dumb. That that was a very close game, and I'm just happy that it was a close one, because it didn't seem like there was many close ones. There was only really like the Patriots and um like the overtime one at that point. So it was nice to see another pretty close game, but later on you'll see that there was a lot more close games than this one. Then we had the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens, and Jesus Christ, this one was a slaughtering. The Browns, they were able to hold Derrick Henry to only 23 rushing yards, but they couldn't stop Lamar Jackson, as he had 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and just absolutely cooked them. Um, this was also Quinshon Judkins' first game, I believe, as a Cleveland Brown, and he had a decent game, I could say. I mean, for having, I think, like 60 something yards, not too bad. Um, I know Dylan Gabriel came in a little bit at the end. Joe Flacco didn't look all too great. Um, The Browns, just in general, did not look all too great. They, I'm just afraid that they're not gonna be a great team this season. And the Ravens, they got their bounce back win from last week, and it's against a division rival, which is probably even better. And yeah, I like this game actually quite a lot, and I gotta give it to the Ravens, man. Even if Derrick Henry isn't doing anything, there's still gonna be a dangerous ass weapon in Lamar Jackson. Then we had the Bears and the Lions game, and holy shit. Ben Johnson's return to Detroit ends in an absolute beating. 52-21. Jesus Christ. I don't know if Ben Johnson is the answer for the Bears as of right now. It's probably gonna prove me wrong, but man, as of right now, the Bears are not looking good at all. And the Lions, oh yeah, that's the Lions I know and love. Um, Obviously, there are a decent amount of passing touchdowns. Um, we also had the duo of Sonic and Knuckles just going at it as well. Um, this game was just very good overall for the Lions, and I'm just very, very scared for the Bears at this point because after losing to the Vikings after having that lead and then losing to the Bears, yeah, they're losing to themselves at this point. Um, Losing to the Lions by this much, there should be some questions at this point, and not questions as of can he actually run this team. It's more like is Caleb Williams actually the answer, and what just happened with this team in general? Broncos and Colts was next. This game was close all throughout the game. Um, Indiana Jones. What what can I say other than just what is going on? Daniel Jones wasn't this good, and now he's friggin' getting wins for the Indianapolis Colts. I almost just called them the Indiana Colts. I'm so miscombobulated with this shit right now. Um, there was a missed field goal at the end, which was taken back, which then the Colts was able to kick another one a little bit closer than the first one, and they got the win. This that did not sit well with a lot of Broncos fans, including Brandon Perna, who absolutely just completely broke. He was like, "What the fuck even happened in this game?" I was wondering the same thing until I saw what happened, and I said, "Oh, well, looks like they just got kicked, as I would call it, because they lost to a field goal." But it was still a very close game. Uh, the Broncos, they still looked really good. I can't lie about that. But just in the end, the Colts were just very slightly better. They only won by 1 point. Then we had the Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals, with the Cardinals winning this one 27-22. This was a very nice game for everyone that loves the passing because both run games were absolute dog shit. But we had actually, Bryce Young looked pretty good. He had 3 touchdowns to only 1 interception, and Kyler Murray, he had 1 touchdown to 1 interception, but he still looked pretty decent. Um, I think uh, Ted McMillan had like over 100 yards, I believe. So he had a pretty decent game as well. Um, I just like this Cardinals team right now. They are currently 2-0, and I don't see them really losing next week either. It'll probably be a close game as well, but we'll just have to see. And for the Panthers, they actually looked better than how they did, and let's just hope they can get a little better next week and hopefully get a win because right now they're definitely gonna need one. The Eagles and the Chiefs was next, and close game here. We had the Eagles win this one in the Super Bowl rematch. Um, Obviously, Jalen Hurts did not get too many passes off. He only had like 101 yards, but the rushing touchdowns that helped them get the win. And this one was a pretty slow game. Definitely wasn't like the Super Bowl, I can tell you that. But Saquon Barkley, he still had 88 yards and a touchdown, uh, on the ground at least. That was pretty nice. Um, for the Chiefs side of things, they're struggling without having their big wide receivers on the field. Xavier Worthy, also Rashi Rice. I don't know why I forgot his name for a second, but definitely missing those two guys are hurting the Chiefs right now, and I I just believe that the Chiefs they'll probably get a few wins here, but they're probably not gonna get much until both of those guys return, and that's not gonna be for a little bit. At least Rashi Rice, he'll probably be back by week 6 or 7. I know he has a 6 game suspension, and for Xavier Worthy, I completely forget at the moment, but I'll just probably put it somewhere right up here. And last but not least, for at least right now, until the last 2 games end in a little bit, we had the Falcons and the Vikings. With the Falcons win this one 22-6. Um, a lot of field goals this game, so I'm just gonna flat out say both kickers, thumbs up, thumbs up from me. Um, Tyler Algier, he got the I guess game sealing touchdown, and the only touchdown in the game at the pretty much the end of the game. Um, Luckily, Bijan and him both got the over, and I actually won my little bet thing there. So that was pretty good. I think Bijan ended with like 143 yards, and I needed 142.5 or over. So yeah, he literally just got it by point 0.5 of a yard. But definitely glad to see that. Definitely glad to see that he's rushing for a lot of yards too, because I love Bijan Robinson as a running back, and I just want to see him do a lot more of that because that was a pretty good game by him. And Tyler Algier, he's a pretty damn good closer, and The Vikings though, they just looked horrible that whole game. And JJ McCarthy, he's going to be out for a little bit with a I believe it's some sort of ankle injury. So I just hope he gets better as soon as possible. But man, the Vikings, they need to do something because the first 2 weeks have not looked good for them at all. Then we have one of the games that just ended tonight with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Houston Texans. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers win this one by 1 point, 20-19. And man, what a fun game. Uh the this one was just crazy. Uh we had friggin' Rashad White going in for the game winning touchdown for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Um, both CJ Stroud and Baker Mayfield had pretty good games. Um, we we also did see um, a couple more 100-yard wide receivers, and this week was a really good week for wide receivers, I guess. Um, but pretty nice game overall. Um, pretty close one too. It was pretty close the whole time. Um, kind of like the last couple games before the Falcons and Vikings one that was just before this. But yeah, I I can't believe the Texans are starting 0-2 for the season, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're looking pretty good right now, and I expect them to look the same way next week. And finally, we had the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders game, with the Los Angeles Chargers winning it 20-9. It's pretty early in the morning now, 6:40, and yeah, this game was pretty fun overall for the Chargers. They had the lead the whole entire time, and they just couldn't let the Raiders really get anything going. Um, I know uh, Justin Herbert looked like he had the nuclear launch codes as he was just passing it down the field and getting them touchdowns. Also, their run game looked pretty decent. Um, just like I said, pretty good game overall by the Chargers. For the Raiders side of things, I just hope they can get better for next week. But anyway, this is the end of the video, and I hope you guys like, subscribe, comment, do really whatever you want to do. And as always, I will see you all in the next one. See you around.